I recently came across this marketing agency for car dealerships, and what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down how they got to seven figures, but also how much money they are leaving on the freaking table by not having the right strategy for ads and media buying and really their landing page as well. So what you're going to learn from this is exactly how you can go ahead and launch profitable, successful, scalable ads without leaving money on the table. My name is Hamza. I grew my marketing agency in the roofing space to $2.7 million, and in 2022 I exited from that agency, and now I work with 8 and 9 figure mid-market and enterprise brands doing their full stack media buying, where I handle the media buying on Meta, on YouTube, and then I also do the creative, the ad copy, and the landing pages. So let's dive right in over here. Arbor Advertising, okay, multi seven-figure company already. So right now all they have is video ads. That's the first thing that I would say, is that video ads only go and get delivered to people that Meta or Facebook knows like video. So if there are people that like images and statics, they won't see these ads. So that immediately slashes the total addressable market potentially into a half, okay, depending on how things work in this niche. That's the first thing. The second thing is that generally speaking, Facebook does best with square ads. I personally love running square ads, 1:1 ratio, and I make sure that all my ads, there's an intentional thumbnail over there, okay? Because it's the same thing about YouTube videos. We want to stop the scroll and have people be like, hey, this is an interesting headline. I want to click. I want to watch the video. So it's the same thing over here. Having an intentional thumbnail for these videos would be a potential test that could be done. But guys, the biggest thing that I'm seeing over here is that there's one headline for all the ads, there's one copy for all the ads, and we may be leaving a ton of money on the table over here, and I'll tell you why. Because I've talked about this in a lot of my videos, but there's an awareness pyramid, right? So at the bottom, the awareness is at the lowest for your product, for your service, the solution that you offer. At the top, the awareness is the highest. These are basically your customers, okay? And ultimately, what we're seeing over here is that there's a spectrum of ad styles that cater to all different types of people on this spectrum. And right now, they're really going after this top part of the pyramid over here. People that are fairly, aware, that know they want marketing services, that know they have a problem. That's who they're going after right now. And so there's all this money that's being left on the table by not going and writing ads that are a bit more indirect in their nature, right? They don't just start off with this offer and saying, hey, car dealers, we're going to get you all these jobs and sales, etc. Because that's what they're doing right now. They're running very direct ads, which are very offer oriented and promise oriented. Okay, and the thing is that with indirect ads, we start off with more of a premise, with more of an idea, potentially even a story, or potentially just a problem or a pain, and then we slowly segment into the actual offer. It's kind of like having a sales call with one of your prospects, and then as soon as they say, hello, Hamza, yeah, Barry, I'm going to get you 50 roof replacements every single month. The price is going to be $1,500 a month in retainer and $1,500 in ad spend. MasterCard or Visa. It's like, damn, bro, just hold your horses over there, right? It's the same thing, right? Copy is ultimately salesmanship in writing, or salesmanship multiplied, as they say. And so it's not always best to be that direct unless we're going for a very aware segment of the audience. So what else can we see over here? The big thing over here is spacing as well, okay? When I write copy, I generally like to space things out. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste this into a doc, and I'll show you how I'd rewrite this. So as you can see over here, this is the original copy. All right. So creating more white space generally allows the reader to be able to read more comfortably. Right now it's like attention car dealer, say goodbye to empty promises and hello to explosive sales growth. Okay, so empty promises by who? Right, that's something that I'd ask. Empty promises by who? I would potentially even just go straight to say hello to explosive sales growth. Say hello to explosive sales growth. So what I'm doing right now is I'm 80-20ing the copy right now. I am improving it based on some of the parameters and some of the knowledge that I have on what might work. not just even in this space because I'm not experienced in this space, but just having written so much copy for so many different offers, I know that creating white space and then also cutting out the freaking fluff is going to always do best. Okay, and we want to make this offer very, very clean. We want to make it very, very tangible, and we want to make it something that speaks to the average car dealership. So catapult your dealership to new heights during these challenging times. So why are these challenging times? You see, oftentimes, guys, when we make a claim, we can't just sit back and be like, all right, people are going to believe it or understand it. Because if it's not a challenging time for this dealership, then they aren't going to want to move forward, right? If it's not a challenging time, they're not going to want to move forward. So we want to not preclude people by saying things like these. Saying statements like, you've tried this and this and this and this and this, but nothing worked. It's like, okay, well, I didn't try that, so this ad's not for me. So we want to be very careful with the language that we use. So in this case, I would say catapult your dealership to new heights. It's like no matter the time of year or no matter the season, right? We can cut that time of year down and just say no matter the season and get ready for the following. I mean, truthfully, you probably don't even need this line. Attention car dealers, catapult your dealership to new heights no matter the season. See that? We just cut down on like a bunch of copy and we just got straight to the point. Now this is a very direct ad still, but I'm 80-20ing the original copy and we can see how we can turn this into an indirect copy as well. So attention car dealers, catapult your dealership to new heights no matter the season. And get ready for the following: 15 additional sales per month, dedicated BDC to bring you buyers. I don't know if a lot of them know what a BDC is. Customers you prefer to be working with, guaranteed results with zero risk. Okay, so generally speaking, I like boiling everything down to just 3 points. The first thing that I'd say is that 15 to 50 is a freaking huge range. I would try to minimize that range by saying something like, you know, 35 to 50. That's more believable. That's more consistent. It's like, okay, 35, 50, they're not that far from each other. But 15 to 50, it's like, yo, what am I going to get? 15 or 50? A dedicated BDC to bring you buyers. That this is industry specific, so I can't say for sure if I would maybe say um, appointments booked directly into your calendar. I think that's maybe what they're trying to say, but I'm not 100% sure. Customers you prefer to be working with. Um, I would say like qualified buyers, right? It's like a dedicated, it's almost like what I would say over here. It's like qualified vehicle buyers, qualified buyers ready to buy a car today and they want to close now. And then it's ultimately, those are going to be the people they prefer to work with. So we could just guaranteed results with zero risk. I would try to say something like guaranteed or your money back. Um, that's fine. Guaranteed results with zero risk. I'm not going to nitpick on that. We're not your average marketing agency operating out of their mom and parents' basement. Very trusted partner, guiding every step of the way. Discover how we coach you. So, like again, right? You want to back that statement up with some sort of proof, right? You can't just say we're not a mom's basement marketer and then not give your stats, right? This is where if you make a claim, you want to provide proof, like X dealers served, like X years in business, um, X dollars spent on buyer leads, right? Something like that where you could actually share that, hey, you have credibility. Otherwise, I'll just take this out. This is all just fluff, right? So they've worked with 800 plus dealerships. That's cool. I mean, truthfully, if you want to go for the most direct ad, you could just have this on its own, and this would be a pretty solid ad. I mean, I think a lot of car dealers would respond to it, especially the ones that are less sophisticated. They haven't ever tried any marketing. Now, this is where you can get a little bit more indirect, and you can add some of these things, right? So this is the direct ad, right? And you want to create an indirect ad as well. And here's the cool thing about an indirect ad. It's basically a direct ad with a indirect lead. So you could just reposition this like this, and then now you have almost, I'm not saying this is the indirect ad, but here it's like, okay, attention car dealers. So it's like ever felt this. So you want to go over what they actually feel in terms of a pain or problem that they've had. Maybe their whole thing is that they drive by other dealers and they see a ton of customers in the lot. Um, we would break down like a few pain points, right? Ever felt this, this, and every time you try to do this, then this, well, that's about to change. Dun, dun, dun. Discover how we coach you to convert more into sales, skyrocketing your business. Yeah, so these would be some of the pains, right? I would insert that up over here, and then so it's like, yeah, ever wasted time. I'm just gonna paste this up here. And ever wasted time chasing potential buyers, wasted money, marketing vendors. I'm assuming it's marketing vendors. And every time you try to get more sales, then just end up with unqualified tire kickers. Well, that's about to change. Da, da. Discover how we can coach you. Yeah, so this is confusing, right? Like coach you. This is not a coaching program. You want to make it ultra clear. Discover how we can skyrocket your business, skyrocket your dealership, right? We want to be specific, your dealership, no matter the season, and get ready for the fall. Okay, cool. So now we have two ads. So what I would do now is I would create an indirect and a direct headline, right? I would go with the headline that they're using right now, guaranteed results and no risk. I don't like that. I don't like that headline. It's like I'll just go with like guaranteed car sales or your money back, or even just like guaranteed car sales. Like people want that. And the other one is that this is an easy one. It's like tired of um, car buyer leads, right? Something like that. Tired of unqualified car buyer leads. That person would be like, yeah, I'm tired of that. What's this about? I want to learn a bit more about that. And then if they, see an ad like this, um, they would realize, oh yeah, that's me. I've wasted my time on this. Maybe they'd resonate with the actual indirect ad. Maybe they'd resonate with the direct ad. That's why I always launch these ads in a dynamic, what I call a 2 by 2 by 3. So what we do is we do two headlines, the ones above, and then in the same dynamic you put in the two copy. So this is indirect copy and direct copy. That's the two pieces of copy. And then you just put in three creatives. And they could literally take their top three ads and throw it in there. And I can guarantee that this ad would do much better than the others. Okay, guaranteed. Now let's move on to the landing page. This is very important. So with the landing page, what we see over here is there's a lot of white space wasted over here, like a ton of white space wasted over here. And I think the reason it's there is because when you inspect this on mobile view, we find that this actual what am I doing over here? That's not what I want to see. Okay, let's do this. Console device. Here we go. So I think that over here at the top is where their actual like social proof pops up. And by the way, guys, if you ever are doing like a breakdown of your landing page after you've created it, you always want to look at the mobile view because the vast majority of the leads are going to come from mobile. So what you want to do is take a look over here, and what I would do immediately is I'd make this logo smaller. Um, I'd remove this clicks into car sales, and then I would put this towards the top and just remove that white space. My goal is to see everything over here above the fold, meaning I shouldn't have to scroll down. I want to be able to see this like this, boom. I want to be able to get on the page and then boom, it's right there. Okay. And generally speaking, um, so these are the questions. What's your position? I own a dealership. I manage a dealership. May want to add in one or two more options like I'm a sales rep at a dealership because you may attract people that are actually sales reps over here. Inventory size, that's a great question. That gives us a gauge of what size of company this is. We may also want to put this into a quiz. So it's one question, one by one. It's like, hey, what's your inventory size? Or do you own a dealership? And maybe just making this a bit more sequential because when it's a form, there's a bit of a resistance to want to fill this out. So a lot of leads may actually just bounce off this page because they're like, I don't want to put in all this information right now. But if it's a quiz, it's hidden on how many questions they are. So people kind of want to get to the end of it so they're incentivized. And a pro tip over here is that people actually come off Facebook ads, they prefer to see like a claim territory now button, and then it pops up to a quiz instead of the quiz or the form being open. Yet on YouTube, if you run ads directly to the form, that is much preferred for that audience because they're a lot more qualified and they're a lot more sort of in a buying mode, if you will. I would look to remove these testimonials straight up because a lot of this isn't even necessary, right? You'll be surprised at how much you can get away with on these funnels if it's just super simple with a very, very specific guarantee. We guarantee minimum 50 car buyers for your dealer. The one question I would have is in what time frame and how? Like what sort of a unique mechanism do you have? What sort of a tool or special thing are you using to get that? Or are you just another marketing company that's just promising that you're going to get them a bunch of results, right? And so this is cool, a bit of a risk reversal over here. It calls out the franchise dealer owners, principals, managers. That's cool. I'd keep that, but I'd make this a lot stronger and definitely your logo the smallest over here. I can't tell you how many companies out there make their logo so large and it's just completely unnecessary. I'll show you my landing page over here that I just put together today. And you can see over here, I have a very, very strong promise. Say goodbye to monthly retainer media buyers. And I'm calling out that it's for pay for performance lead gen agencies doing over 30K a month. And then you can see in my landing page over here, it's got a bit of a subheader as well. And then this is one of my YouTube videos. Instead of using a VSI, I thought this is a very good video that would explain what it is that I do, as I am in this video as well. But nonetheless, what I would do is I'd remove these testimonials, or I would keep them, but the one thing that is costing this page, I can almost guarantee conversions, is the fact that you can click off of the freaking page and go to a school community, which is freaking wild because like no one not people aren't coming here for the school community, they're coming to get results. And so if you're giving them an option to basically opt out and move away from the page, that's basically wasted traffic. I would make sure people stay on this page. Okay, and even if they're trying to scroll away, I'd have the form pop up and be like, hey, do you want more? Do you want these 50 car buyers for your dealership? So I'm not going to opt in and go to the next page over here and then scrutinize the booking page or something. I'm sure there's a booking page on the other side, but really over here we went over the creative, which I think is fine for now, especially if they've been running it for over a year. But we can definitely revamp the headlines and the copy, and I would go ahead and definitely change the funnel. And on the media buying strategy, I would actually go after the audiences that are. I'll do a lookalike 1% of their custom list. So a custom list of all the car dealers that they've been able to scrape off the internet. And then I would stack that with the actual custom list. I would do a lookalike 1% of 75 people that viewed the video to 75%. I'll do a lookalike of 1% people that became leads, and then a 1% lookalike of those that booked a call. Stack these together, will be freaking powerful. That's a great, great demographic to launch tests to. And then you'll be surprised, broad as well. Just no targeting and calling out letting the ad do its job, letting Facebook do its job could also work very, very well. I have other videos where I dive into actual, media buying strategy through a three-phased process. The video before this one actually about the Trinity protocol is what that goes over. And man, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a comment. If you want, you can join the school community and get more trainings and more SOPs and one-on-one time with me if you want. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.